So you got some struggles communicating clearly. You've had a few rows of just stability. So yeah, I mean, would you like to share any more about that? Let us know kind of what tends to happen when you said that it gets heated. Yeah, so my question, if when it gets heated, at the times where we're heated, are we on the bridge or are we in the water? So at the times when it gets heated, do you have a sense that you're more on the bridge with that perspective, or you're more in the water getting thrown around? What would you say, or what does it sound like?
It sounds like a trigger, like he gets triggered.
Just gets defensive and starts, you're definitely in the water, yeah. And when you're in the water, does it ever happen that when you're flailing, you could say or do things that could be damaging or hurtful? Is that a possibility? If we're in the water, you know, could it be that we react, as Rebecca said, in a way that causes us to maybe lash out or retaliate? Or does that ever happen or not? Yeah, my go-to is just to say whatever. Yeah, so things just come out. And when you say those things, do you ever then regret that, Josh? Do you ever think, well, maybe that wasn't the best thing to say to Tiff? And yeah, I see. Well, you know, firstly, you know, well done for recognizing that. It's uncomfortable. And, you know, well done, particularly admitting it here, you know.
Yeah, well done,
owning
guys.
that, because, you know, owning it is obviously the start of recognizing it and recognizing it and managing it. So, Josh, I'm curious, from what we've talked about so far, what tools or techniques that we've talked about so far can help you to stay more on the bridge and not to get so caught up in the water? What of the things that we've talked about? Yeah, so what Rebecca said about being triggered made you realize it. Excellent. So in terms of like, if we recognize that we're being triggered, what kind of things can we do? What kind of things can we do to reduce our tendency to be triggered, you know, to make us less liable to be triggered in those moments? What have we talked about so far that can support us in that respect? So one of these actions, I've still got the list on the thing. So yeah, the dialogue is Ben and Michelle's suggestion. Yeah, that can certainly help, because what's the very first thing in the dialogue before we start engaging with our partner? What's the thing we need to check in with before we start the dialogue? Can anyone remember?